Hey, what's up guys? It's Joseph here, and I'm doing this video to bring awareness to something before you guys spend your money on these mobile games. Basically what you're looking at right now are a bunch of mobile ports of like arcade, like Neo Geo and just regular arcade games, developed by DotEmu. DotEmu is very good at what they do. Like they did Windjammers on Switch, PS4, and Vita. I think they also did Streets of Rage 4, I think. I might be wrong. But then they're also definitely doing Windjammers 2, which is coming out soon. They did the Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap remix. They made a bunch of really good like games and ports. But the mobile versions of pretty much everything they've developed is not the case. So you're looking at some games that are on the .emu developer page on the App Store, and then some of these are actually from the SNK. Some of these are published by SNK, but they're also still developed by .emu. And I'm not going to test the Raiden Legacy one because I have to flip my phone over to do that. So I'm just going to test the other ones, which, like I said, they're all developed by .emu, and they all essentially have the same problem, and they're all not free apps. They all cost at least... Like, the cheapest one is Blazing Star, which is 99 cents, but, like, Samurai Showdown, I think, is, like, $2 or $3. Guru Mark of the Wolves and Fatal Fury Special are the most expensive. Those are $4 each. So we might as well just start with Blazing Star, SNK, and then .emu. See, it's developed by .emu. So I'm just gonna showcase the problems that each of these has, and I'm also going to sound off, and it doesn't turn off like the sound effects, it just turns off the music. Alright, so far it looks okay, but you can see that it's literally in a 4:3 aspect ratio, which it used to not be on my iPhone SE. By the way, I'm using the iPhone 7 Plus. I think these games will still work normally on the SE, the old SE, not the new SE that's coming out. But let's just showcase what's wrong with this. So far it looks normal. That's the 4:3 aspect ratio is a little bit throwing me off. But you see how you can still move kind of, but you can't even, like, the buttons are so huge. You can't even press this pause button. Like, you just can't. I'm pressing the pause button and it's pressing and now the A button's pressing on its own. Actually, no, I think that's because it's auto firing. But every time I try to press the pause button, it just presses the RS button at the back. And you can still move around. I guess it could be playable, but you can't pause. The buttons are just so big, and the screen is normally not supposed to be in 4:3. Actually, never mind. I think there might be a setting on this one to change it by 4:3. But either way, as you can see, it's unplayable because of how big the buttons are, and because the pause button doesn't work. I'm literally clicking the pause button, and it's pressing the button behind it. So now we're going to exit out of that, and I can actually show you... at least in the fighting game ones, there's a way to, like, adjust the button sizes and, like, the positions of them, but it doesn't work. Like, you can't fix it. So we're going to go to Options, and we're going to go to Key Configuration, and you can move the A button, but you can't make it smaller. Like, I'm pinching it to try to make it smaller, and it's not working. Like, you can't. And you can, I guess you can move and you can move the buttons around, I guess, to make it more semi-playable, but it's just not going to work. Like, no one wants the buttons to be this big, and this problem is on all of these games on all newer mobile devices. And there's been thousands of reviews on the App Store that have been pointing out this problem, but SNK and .emu choose not to fix it. I don't even know why. I paid money for all of these games, and I can't even play them, really, because they're just fucking broken. So now we're testing... I clicked on Samurai Showdown 2. Obviously the sound still doesn't. The sound effects are still going to be a thing. So if you go to Key Configuration, you can see if it's even worse on this, and you can't even move the joystick. You can't even fucking move the joystick, like to adjust it. And the pause button is huge too. Just fucking click a random character. Like, I didn't even press the pause button and it paused. Alright, watch this. All the buttons are fucking huge. So that's pretty much that. R-Type is the same thing. Technically, you can play a better version of R-Type 1 and 2 on iOS now because they ported R-Type Dimensions EX over, which is definitely a better version. Just, sorry if you can't hear my voice because the music's loud, but it has the same problem. It has the same problem as you just saw. And then Fatal Fury Special also has the same problem, except this one has a very, like, look, this one has a unique problem. Hold on. Alright, sound off, sorry. See, this one, as you can see, has a very unique problem with everything being just warped and tiny. And if you change, like I can't even click on the difficulty, actually. Oh, never mind, it's because of this. You can see how small the buttons are. Like, I don't even know if you guys even noticed the buttons at first. Like, I'm moving the joystick right now at the very small. You can see how small the little A button is. I mean, this one, I mean, it seems playable, but just the buttons are so small. There's, like, nothing. Like, you can't play it. It's so small. Like, you move your finger slightly too far, and the buttons don't work. Like, if I press the joystick too far, like, my finger doesn't register. So there's that one. Guru Mark of the Wolves, which is the one I used to play the most out of all of these, because this is my favorite SNK game, and it has the same problem. And it's got this weird 4x3 thing. Let's check and see what it is.
Fight!
See, the buttons are fucking huge, and the select button isn't working, the pause button isn't working. Every time I click, it's just moving the joystick, and it's not letting me press any of the other buttons. Like, I'm trying to press the A button, but the joystick is the only thing that's moving. Like, seriously, this is fucking dumb. And now we can go to R-Type 2, and we can see the same goddamn problem. And I haven't tested the Metal Slug games. Hold on. I haven't tested the Metal Slug games or the King of Fighters games. Or I think it's the same thing with the Double Dragon trilogy. But it's the same fucking thing on all of them. Like, if these ones all have the same problem, I'm pretty damn sure that all the other ones have the same problem too. And this one you can move, I guess you can play this one a little bit more than the others. But it's just bullshit. Like, this is unacceptable. So if you guys have been thinking about getting any of the SNK games or DotEmu games or both or whatever, just know what you're getting into. And if you have a newer model phone, I think it's like, because I'm using the iPhone 7 Plus right now, I'm assuming that it's probably iPhone 7 and up will not work with any of these SNK games until they release an update. So I would wait until they release updates for literally every single one before you download any of them. And if they do release an update eventually fixing these problems, I will do an updated video showcasing these specific games and showcasing that they're fixed. But until then, I'm leaving them on my phone for now because they don't take up that much storage at all. But I'm hoping that they fix this. SNK or DotEmu, if you're watching, you need to fix these, because a lot of people like these games. They're not the best control-wise, but they're fun. They're very decent ports of all these games. But like, and while you're at it, honestly, you should probably just add controller support to all of them. That would be nice too. But like, seriously, get your shit together, man.